Uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is Thursday. Of course, we have a lot that has happened today. Of course, because every day in this experiment, right, that is America, um, is getting more and more interesting. That's the best way that I can say it. So I want to give you guys some updates about stuff that has happened today. So first of all, let me wish you a happy Thursday, right? Don't forget tomorrow on Friday, we do an hour here on Patreon, and then I take you over. I mean, an hour here on TikTok, and then I take you over to Uncensored Live discussion, Uncensored Live event on Patreon. That Friday are freebie Fridays. So if you're not already registered for my Patreon, click the link in my profile and go check it out. I really think that you would enjoy yourself because there are a lot of conversations that we have over there we can't have on TikTok because of, community guidelines. For whatever reason, the computer, right? Because they want to use the computer to first monitor conversations, and because computers don't know context, they just flag everything. They just flag everything. So a couple of things. I just put up a video about this, about how in Alabama's going to run out of WIC funding by November, probably before November, is what Alabama is saying. Alabama's saying we probably will not make it that far because we ain't got the money. Alabama's also saying they don't have the money to make up for the shortfall that the federal government isn't providing. Alabama ain't got it, okay? Just so y'all know, because people always say, well, states can make it up, red states can't, because red states ain't never got it. They're the welfare queens of the union. They're always begging for money. Good afternoon, Kim. They're always begging for money. See what I'm saying? So just so y'all know, women and children in Alabama are going to starve because Republicans in Congress won't do their job. That's all. Republicans in Congress want to protect Donald Trump, make sure the Epstein files don't get released so they won't swear in the Democrat that won in Arizona, right? Convincingly, she won that election. The guy she was running against has already conceded the election, already said, I lost. I'm out. I'm done. But for whatever reason, Mike Johnson, well, we know the reason. Mike Johnson won't swear her in because Mike Johnson doesn't want her, because she's the tie-breaking vote, to have those files released. So I need you to pay attention to that, okay? Pay attention. Your government isn't working for you. Your government is working for rich people, okay? It's working for rich people. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something else I read about today, that I read about this afternoon, okay? Couple of things. There was a Tennessee man, a Tennessee resident. He was arrested today. Why was he arrested? He was arrested for posting memes about Donald Trump on the internet. No threats or nothing. He was just arrested just because he posted memes on the internet of Trump's same words. Yeah. Yep, Kim. He was arrested today. 9 times out of 10, he won't actually be prosecuted for, because what do you prosecute him for? He has a right to free speech. I told y'all, you don't have a right to free speech in America. Conservatives be lying about that shit. They lie. Cause they say free speech to avoid having to say what other people are saying, right? Like, I don't just hate people because of the color of their skin. They don't like that. They don't like that. Remember, they love freedom of speech when it's the freedom to be racist, freedom to be misogynist, freedom to be a xenophobe, freedom to be anti-Semitic. You can be freedom to do all these things except to be a good person. They never have the freedom to do that. They have the freedom to do it. They just never exercise on it, right? But then MAGA doesn't exercise, to go figure. So just know your government is now arresting people for their opinion. Not any threats. The man just, he posted memes of things Trump said, and he was arrested for that. Yep. Exactly, MGD. Doesn't even matter if he gets prosecuted because he had to go through getting arrested, spending money to bail out, spending money on attorney fees, all that stuff. His reputation, all because Donald Trump is sensitive and doesn't want it. Letitia James got indicted. I'm not surprised. That doesn't surprise me. I'm just surprised at other people. Yeah, she's indicted by the Justice Department. I'm not surprised. Not at all. That's not going to stop Letitia James from doing her fucking job in New York. And Trump is still a 30-something time convicted felonist. That's what he is. He's a convicted felon. And it doesn't change none of that. See, Trump is trying to literally, I don't have another word for it, whitewash the reality of what happened. The reality of what happened is Trump broke the law multiple times. Remember when he stole our documents and had them stored in his bathroom? And the FBI had to go to Mar-a-Lago to get them back. And then one of his appointed judges in Florida that he appointed kept stalling out the case, stalling out the case, stalling out the case so that it wouldn't go forward. That by the time, even if they wanted to do something, it was election time, so she still wouldn't move it forward. Trump wins again, throws it out. Trump, say it again. Trump's been a criminal his entire life. He's always broken the law. That's what he does. Break the law. He's really good at law breaking. This is why I keep trying to tell y'all the media is complicit in the shit with them. Okay? You like that picture of Don Tiger Cream Trump? Listen, let me stop for a second and say good afternoon. Thank you for joining me this Thursday. I appreciate you being here. I really do. I only ask you to do a couple of things while you're here. If you could tap that like button for me, I greatly appreciate it. Liking is clapping, so tapping is clapping. Okay? Thank you. And then if you could hit that copy link for me. You don't even have to send it to anybody. The copy link counts as a share, and it helps to boost my live. Thank you to all of you who've already shared, who've already been tapping, tapping because tapping is clapping. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here today. But I'm not surprised that the Justice Department has indicted Letitia James. They've indicted her because Pam Bondi is a sheep. She gonna do whatever her boss tell her to do. Y'all got to remember, for Jim Comey, his indictment was done by a lawyer who had never done she wasn't a federal, like any type of federal attorney. She wasn't appointed to the Justice Department. She didn't go through the process. She was just somebody the Trump administration pulled out their ass, right? She comes from insurance industry. She ain't never did no stuff like this. But didn't Trump tell you he hires the best people? Sound like a DEI hire to me, right? A didn't earn it hire. A didn't earn it hire. She's not qualified enough for the job, but because she's white and female, well, she got it. Y'all gonna learn. I told you, conservatives love DEI. They love didn't earn it hires. Oh, I know Jim Comey's hands are not clean. I don't want you to don't mistake me talking about Jim Comey for me giving a fuck about Jim Comey. I don't give a fuck about him because the very beast that he helped to create and that he helped to validate, that he helped to get elected, that beast just ate his ass. Oh, I don't care about Jim Comey. Don't get me wrong. I was just using him as another example, showing that the Justice Department is going after Trump's enemies on purpose, showing that Joe Biden was really smart to pre-pardon people. Yeah. So they don't have to waste time, right? They don't have to waste time hiring lawyers, spending money, sitting in court for nothing for it to get booted. Joe Biden was smart. He just went on ahead and got ahead of it because he know what type of bullshit this guy is on. This guy is not a leader. He's a crisis actor. Yep. Jim Comey saying what he said about Hillary Clinton was the thing that led to Hillary Clinton not winning. Yep. That was one of the things that led to that. So I don't give a shit about Jim Comey. And because Jim Comey has the money and the resources to fight the government. You and I get arrested by the government, it's a different story. Jim Comey ain't gonna run to our aid Jim Comey's not going to hold any GoFundMe's or any type of conversations to raise money for us. So understand, I don't give a shit about Jim Comey. Jim Comey getting eaten by this beast is exactly what he created for himself. I feel nothing. Yep, don't feel a thing. I don't feel no sorrow for him. But I'm not surprised that Letitia James was indicted. Notice she was indicted in Alexandria, Virginia, not in New York State anywhere. See, the other thing that the Trump administration loves to do, like most Republicans, they forum shop, right? They shop for just the right locations so they can get the results that they want. So it doesn't matter if the case is going to get thrown out. It's that it's wasting our taxpayer money. Our money is wasted on that. You tired of winning yet? Y'all tired of winning yet? Y'all gonna learn. But remember before the elections, where they said Democrats and Republicans ain't no different. So you know what that means, since y'all was saying that shit before the election? Once Democrats get back in power, I want them to go after every Republican there is, even Republican voters. Fuck it. Y'all said this shit was okay. So I don't want to hear y'all fussing, because y'all said they both the same. So liberals need to match that fucking energy. What they say, anybody want to match my freak egg? Yeah, that's what I expect. I wouldn't say a lot of her money will be wasted, because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of lawyers are going to do this shit pro bono just to push back against the government. I'm just telling you. A lot of people are going to do this shit on GP just to push back. Because if you allow them to come for other people, oh, your ass is next. See, I only bring up Jim Comey because if they come for Comey, they can come for you too. But I ain't doing nothing to stop them coming for Jim Comey, because you know why? Them charges gonna get dropped. Jim Comey gonna be fine. Got into it with your brother-in-law. He quoted Mike Johnson as his source of info. Next time, look. Next time you talk to your brother and he quotes Mike Johnson, you know what you should say. You know what you should say. You should say to him, "Hey, hey, I want to know something. So, since when do you quote what other men say? Do you quote when Trump says they just let you do it? Like, how far do you go to quote other men? You a sheep or you a leader, sir?" All right. I, that's why I told y'all I don't deal with nobody MAGA. I told y'all, nobody MAGA. Y'all see why I say I don't deal with them? So when you hear MAGA people say, it's really not fair to push people out of your life because you disagree on politics. This is more than a disagreement on politics. Sure, you can ask a question, provided I want to answer it, but you can ask it. I'm going to let you ask it, even though in your profile you say Raiders football and Drake. Drake, come on, white P. But I'm going to give you a pass. Go ahead. You can ask it. But you talking about Drake in your profile. Bruh, I like real hip hop. But okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you ask. You can go right ahead and ask. And I can be brutal. I just thought I was acting like a conservative. That's all. Yeah, Drake is not hip hop to me. He raps, but he sings more than he raps, but he ain't hip hop to me. I'm old school hip hop. So yeah, that's Don Tiger King Trump. If you stare at him really closely, you can see it. See, I'm convinced that Don and Tiger King are the same people. See, that's what I'm convinced. Because I've never seen them in the same. Somebody said ask a question, so I was just matching that energy, Aaron. That's all. I was just matching that energy. No, if they're going to ask me a question, that means it's going to be really serious. Okay, really serious. So I was giving him an opportunity to ask me. Hey, Mrs. Thompson. Man, suing another rapper because you got owned is so damn gangster, right? Y'all remember that time that Busta Rhymes sued KRS-One? No, I don't remember that time either. I don't remember that either. Chill. Chill. I don't remember that either. Drake lost all his points. all his points when he filed the lawsuit. He lost every single one of them. So yeah, I don't listen to Drake. I don't do that. I already was funny about him. I always would say to my kids, because they would go, "What's your opinion?" I say, "Love you, girl. I want you, girl. Why won't you take me back, girl?" That's Drake. He either spend more time whining about some woman that he's trying to get next to, or talking about how hood he is. I'm so hood. You ain't hood. You from Canada. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Man, that's still the best moment, ain't it? Say Drake. Man, that was the best moment ever with Kendrick. His camera game is unmatched. His camera game is unmatched, okay? Drake gonna come out with something. You know what the Drake stands say? He gonna come out with some heat. No, he isn't. Stop lying to yourself. No, he's not. He's not. He's not gonna come out with no hit. I was still waiting for the person to ask, but they never asked me, so I guess they didn't have to ask me a question. Or maybe it's because I said something about Drake. I don't know, but I'm not a Drake fan. I said it before, I say it again. You have the best memes. Thank you so much. Look, I got another one coming for y'all. Remember I told y'all earlier that I had a picture from Trump's colonoscopy, and it shows us what's in there. I'm going to show y'all in a little bit. Oh, just so y'all also know this too. Trump is about to go back to Walter Reed for another checkup. Yeah. Remember when he had a checkup? Just when he just came in January? So why would the president need to go back to Walter Reed again? Right? Why would he need to go back to Walter Reed again for another checkup if he's not sick? Exactly. Because him sick. We already done seen his ankles and his feet. Them foots, them trotters. He got fluid on that body, baby. He got fluid on it. Have y'all seen him when he out and about? His pants are they're almost up here. The pants. Think about it. The pants are almost to the top. Because you know how as people get older, their pants get, further and further up top? That's Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump. And I'm just going, okay, all right. Not swollen like ramen noodles. Listen. I was going to say swollen like ballpark franks. You know how they tell you they plump when you cook them? It's kind of like that. You know how the ballpark franks be busting out the tips? Like the tips always bust open when you make them hot. Like the rest of the hot dog might be okay, like it'll plump up, but the tips always bust open. That's how Trump is in them shoes. Listen, if you've ever had swollen feet, you know those foots right now feel like he's walking on balloons that are at their limit. One false move, pop goes the weasel. Listen. It's the worst, MGD. It's the worst. The worst. Now, I got to tell y'all about something that y'all need to pay attention to. Okay? Somebody removed the post. Okay. But needless to say, the IRS has made some modifications, right? Some modifications to the tax code to raise the limits on, tax deductions and things like that. And of course, some things were raised for us, right? So that we can get more of a deduction. These are things that happen every year anyway. But the Trump administration is going to try to make it seem like, it's special. But I'm going to tell you something that they did that they won't brag about, because the 99.9%, we don't get to benefit from it. Only the rich people. So I'm going to tell y'all what the rich people are doing, because the media ain't going to tell you about it either. You know why? Because rich people own them. So they're not going to talk about it because their bosses won't let them, right? So I'm going to tell you. Estate tax credits. Y'all need to understand this. Estates of descendants who died during 2026 are going to have a basic exclusion amount of $15 million tax-free. It's currently at 13.9 million. They've raised it to 15 million. Because God forbid, if your daddy dies and leaves you 15 million, the last thing you want to do is pay taxes. Y'all gonna learn it. Y'all gonna learn it. Anthony, hey Anthony, you need to go find a washcloth, beloved. I don't allow nobody in here with a dirty neck and a big mouth. Bye-bye. I told you, conservatives, I allow you in my live, but you gotta be quiet, okay? I don't allow you to come here popping your gums and shit, because I don't give a fuck about how you feel. I'm not a kumbaya liberal. I'm not here to hold hands. Let's compromise, see how we can work it out. Who the fuck you think I am? I don't work in Congress. I don't have to do any of that, right? I don't have to do none of that. So no, I'm